We wanted to bring you in again for a detailed Q&A with some questions that people have here on social media about this storm. One of them is the rain we're getting right now tied to the system, even though it's all the way down here?
That is a good question, and a lot of people think that since we're spending so much time talking about the tropics that it is tied to the system. It is not. It is actually a separate system. We're continuing to track like this big L right here. I pulled it up on the screen for you. Represents low pressure, right? And it's kind of sitting in and across the southeast. The storm itself, even though we have the icon up here, is actually well down here, actually just toward the north of Cuba. Right now we're seeing all of this rainfall across the area in association with low pressure across the region, not so much the tropical moisture that's well toward our south and offshore Florida toward Cuba for right now. We're not going to see any moisture in our area possibly from that system really until early next week by around Tuesday.
Can you pull up the cone for people really quick?
Yes.
Claire's got her computer off to the side here, so she's able to get it up. Okay, so luckily it looks like it's making a pivot away. Because we are now not in this cone, does that mean that we are in the clear?
That's a great question, Ben. The short answer is no. Because you're not in the cone, that doesn't mean you're necessarily in the clear. This cone represents where the center of the storm might go, right? So the center of the storm could actually go as far as up to here, right?
And then it would come into here.
Right.
Okay.
The center of the storm is represented by the cone. The impacts of the storm are well outside of the cone. So while the center of the storm, if it holds true, this model, and it goes right here, impacts will still be expanded well into our area. We'll still get that rainfall, but the center of the cone itself just represents where the actual center of the storm could go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the expert here, not me, but didn't we have a storm earlier this year where it was kind of off over here and we had a bunch of rip currents?
Yes, and that can do that. Distant hurricanes can act as rip current generators. They bring in and they send dangerous swells our way. Umberto, which is going to be well offshore over toward Bermuda, it's a Category 5 hurricane. It's very powerful. That's going to send rip currents our way and for much of the southeastern coastline by Tuesday and Wednesday. It could even lead to some coastal erosion, without Imelda, which is going to be even closer and obviously less intense of a system to our coastline. So.
Okay, so you said this is still kind of working itself out, right? We're still trying to figure out the forecast.
Yes.
When are we going to know for sure what the path of this is going to be?
Oh, that's a great question, Ben. And I think part of the reason that we aren't 100% sure is because the center of the storm just isn't defined yet. And part of the reason is that Umberto's stealing all of the strength, all of the moisture, to kind of taking the spotlight, right? Trying to take in all that moisture and take it away from the region. When the storm actually forms and actually has a well-defined center, that's when we're able to make a more confident track on where this will go and where and who it could possibly impact.
So the answer is keep following Claire on social media. She's going to keep us updated and safe through all of this.
And I did want to show you this. I'll show you the models real quick. Remember this yesterday or just a couple of days ago, I stayed on air with you guys just showing you the difference in what each model suggests. So they all look like little spaghetti noodles, right? I like to call them possibilities because each one of them represents a different opinion on where this storm could go. And just a couple of days ago, all of these noodles, I would say, model opinions, wanted to go into the southeastern coast, right into the Carolinas.
Well, we like this direction.
We do. This is a very fortunate situation. I would much like this trend to continue, and I'm sure you would too at home, and we'll continue to keep you posted.